It's happening. United and Barcelona have agreed a loan deal, season-long loan deal, with an option for Barcelona to buy, not an obligation, an option. And Barcelona are going to cover his wages, which will amount to about £17 million a year. So obviously we know that Barcelona have got problems in terms of getting players in terms of signing them, registering them, but a loan deal makes it a lot cheaper for them to do that. £17 million over a season is not a bad deal. They missed out on Nico Williams. They tried and failed to get Luis Diaz from Liverpool, so Rashford is probably the third choice. But it's a perfect deal for everybody. It's perfect for Marcus Rashford. It's a deal that he doesn't really deserve. For Man United, it's great. It gets him off the books. It sends him to a club that will keep his level and his reputation high because it's Barcelona. And for Barcelona, they've got a player that they think they can get the best out of, rehabilitate him, and it's fairly cheap. So he'll have a medical the next couple of days, and it'll be one problem solved for Ruben Amorim and Man United.
For Barcelona, it is a low-risk move. Signing a player with international renown, elite experience, and global marketing potential. To say that Rashford does not deserve this deal is strong, but it reflects frustration with his recent performance at United. The truth is that his last season was weak, and he lost favor with fans and coaches. Even so, dismissing the deal ignores the fact that the player accepted a considerable pay cut and is betting on his own rebuilding at a club under enormous pressure. That takes courage. If Rashford excels at Barca, his market value will rise, either for a future sale or for a more valuable return. It's a pragmatic move by the board.
And I think Rashford is a better option. The problem he has is if Rafinha doesn't play in the 10 role, if Rafinha continues to play in that wide left, nobody's dropping Lamine Yamal. Not happening. You know what I mean? He's arguably best player in the world last season. And Robert Lewandowski down the middle. So it's an opportunity, but really, unless something happens, it's going to be a lot of sitting on the bench. But that's better than training at 5 p.m. with a couple of the other duffers that are not wanted.
I mean, I guess everybody's a winner. Let's be honest, isn't it?
I don't know. If I'm a Barcelona fan, I'm hearing my team are linked to Williams, they're linked to Diaz, and we can't get them, so we're getting Marcus Rashford?
But it's the situation you find yourself in that getting Rashford actually is going to be okay. You got to look at the big picture.
They're not better options out there.
Well, obviously not. But you're not the only person that doesn't think Rashford's right now worth the money that they're going to be paying him. None of us think that. But Barcelona find themselves in a situation where this is the best option. So whether Barcelona fans love it or not, this is a good situation for everybody. The one thing that I don't like about it is it gives you a bad taste in your mouth. Because professional football is a tough business. But you know what? Sometimes you've got to earn your luck. And he hasn't earned it. And he's a lucky, lucky boy. From a professional point of view, he doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve to be going to a great club like Barcelona the way he's conducted himself over the last 12 months. And even when he went to Villa, as Craig said, he wasn't particularly great.
Fact. Lamine Yamal has become untouchable on the right side. And if Flick keeps Lewandowski as a fixed number 9 and Rafinha on the opposite side, Rashford will really have little space, unless he is adapted as a joker, coming off the bench or playing centrally in specific games. The fight for minutes will not be difficult to manage because Hansi Flick has already made it clear to Rashford that he would be the second option. Hansi Flick is eager to count on Rashford as soon as possible, but does not see him as an absolute starter. The initial plan is to use him as a tactical weapon in the squad rotation, especially in matches where his speed and explosiveness can be decisive against tired defenses. According to a report in the newspaper Sport, Flick spoke directly with Rashford in May, expressing his desire to have him on the squad. The German coach believes that the Englishman can bring renewed energy to the group and raise the level of internal competitiveness. In addition to his technical contribution, Rashford will play a strategic role in the club's marketing, with great media appeal. It's an opportunity, but if nothing changes, he'll spend a lot of time on the bench. That's true. Rashford is joining a team that has young players on the rise. Everything will depend exclusively on his performance in training and minutes on the field. But as has been said, better that than being overlooked in Manchester, training with the reserves. Barca may be financially limited, given the context, but it is a logical move, especially if it is a loan with no obligation to buy.
That's quite damning, Stevie. What in particular frustrates you about this?
Well, what can we sit here and say, you know what, Marcus Rashford has done everything to try and make himself on the field a success with either Aston Villa or Manchester United. Maybe a little bit more Villa, but with Manchester United. And it's 100% no. 100% no. He absolutely has done all the wrong things, has said all the wrong things, has acted in the wrong manner, has been unprofessional, being in Ireland the night before training and all, and then everything he's done has been so unprofessional that, you know, we as professionals will stick up for each other unless you're out of line.
Right.
And I don't think there'll be many pros now or former pros sticking up for this guy the way he's acted, and he doesn't deserve to be going to a great club like Barcelona. But as I started with, it's a situation that he's found himself in, as have Barcelona.
I'm looking at it from his perspective in Man United. I suppose we talked about Man United in yesterday's show, and sort of scratching my head, thinking, well, they're not going to be in amongst the big boys, not spending the best players, they're signing players. But I'm looking at it from their point of view and his point of view, what an opportunity this is. Now, from Barcelona's point of view, it's not the most glamorous signing, you know. And Stevie's right, he signed this new contract, huge contract after that great season at United. His attitude, let's be honest about it, his attitude was abysmal. You could go back and get any game, long before Ruben Amorim came in, when Eric Ten Hag was still there, you could go back and pretty much get any game, even at Old Trafford in front of his own fans, where he was sauntering around, walking around, not tracking back, not even trying to press the ball, not trying to make a challenge, on top of not really producing anything going forward. So, you know, his attitude has been appalling. He got this chance at Villa, which he semi-took. He has possibly got this amazing chance at Barcelona, which just is off the charts. Off the charts for a player who's performed in the way he has for a couple of years. The one thing I would say, and I'm not saying it's easier to go and play in Spain, I am not saying that, but you look at what, it's a different game in Spain to it is in England. You look at what Antony was able to do at Real Betis. Antony at Man United could barely get the ball from A to B. He couldn't, you never saw him beat a defender, you didn't see any end product, but somehow we saw a really good, positive side of Antony at Real Betis, and maybe the game in Spain is just a little bit different, a little bit slower, maybe a little bit more technical than some of the teams in England, and it suited Antony, and it may not, but it may suit Marcus Rashford. Look, we do La Liga every weekend. We do Barcelona and Real Madrid and Atleti till the cows go home. We're going to find out. We are going to get the answer. And when we do it, we're not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. And I don't think anybody is. And so, you know, if this deal comes off, it's opening a magnificent door for a player, as Stevie said, that doesn't really deserve to be walking through that door. But when opportunity comes along, you've got to go and try and take it. And if he doesn't take this, then I do believe his career is just going to go down the drain. But he has an opportunity at the moment.
Craig Burley, Stevie Nicol, and company basically said that Marcus Rashford doesn't deserve to wear the Barca jersey, that he's unprofessional, that he did everything wrong at United, and that if he comes, it would be like winning the lottery. He doesn't deserve to play for Barcelona. Rashford is a top-level player who needs to rediscover himself to improve his performance. We need to understand that Rashford was the third option if plans A and B went wrong, because he is part of the plan and Hansi Flick sees some potential in him. He deserves a chance at Barcelona. Maybe he fits better as a second option. This same unprofessional Rashford was supported for years by a completely disorganized club, mismanagement, and a toxic environment. And even so, he had a 30-goal season. Yes, his performance dropped. Yes, he had questionable attitudes. But Barcelona has also recovered discredited players. Remember Villa, who was kicked out of Valencia and shown at Camp Nou? And Aubameyang himself? The truth is that the game in Spain is different. Rashford can adapt. What he lacks today is a system, an environment that inspires confidence, and a club with an identity. And Barca has that. He won't be a starter. He'll come off the bench. Perfect. And you know what Barca needs? A bench. Today, when Lamine, Rafinha, or Louis aren't doing well, we look at the bench and see Ferran. Rashford can make a difference. Is he a player of the moment? Perhaps. But big games also thrive on moments, and he has already shown that he has that decisive factor. Rashford may not be at his peak, but he has talent, speed, and a shot. He could be interesting for Barcelona. Marcus Rashford will officially be a Barcelona player. According to Fabrizio Romano, Rashford will be presented on Tuesday. His arrival in Barcelona is scheduled for this Sunday, with medical tests scheduled for Sunday or Monday. Journalist Gerard Romero confirmed that the tests are expected to take place on Monday. Both clubs are finalizing the paperwork to make the transaction official. Once the documents are signed, Rashford will join the Barcelona squad for preseason training before traveling to Japan on the 24th. The transfer involves a personal sacrifice. The player has agreed to reduce his salary by around 25 to 30% from the €18 million per year he received at Manchester United. Even with the cut, Barca will cover 100% of his wages during the loan, without financial assistance from the English club. For Barcelona, the deal is seen as a strategic opportunity. A player with Rashford's profile, accepting financial adjustments, represents a valuable reinforcement in technical and commercial terms. The striker remains a global name and will be a key player in boosting the club's presence in international markets, especially during the Asian tour. The club wants to complete all stages of the signing in the coming days. Medical exams, contract signing, official photos with President Joan Laporta, and a press conference are expected to take place between the 22nd and 23rd before departure for Japan. For Rashford, this is more than just a transfer. It is a chance to start over, prove his worth, and compete for titles with the best team in the world. Do you agree with Rashford's arrival at Barcelona? Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.